So this is what Tasmanian public housing looks like, huh?
Used to get raided by the cops.
What's that, Glenorchy Mafia?
It was just a street gang that we started when we were kids.
How are ya?
What's up, mate?
Mad.
Spanian. I was raised in the housing areas of Sydney City. Spent most of my youth and adult life in prison. And after a total of 13 years, I'm free and I'm out and about, flying around, sussing out the hoods all over the world. It's Oj.
Tasmanian police are alarmed about the rise in gun violence in the state. 6 people have been charged over a brawl in Glenorchy last night, in which police allege guns were fired into the air.
A manhunt is underway in Tasmania after a 32-year-old man was shot dead in Hobart's north overnight.
Tasmanian police closed a major road after a shooting in Hobart's northern suburbs this afternoon.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode Into the Hood. I'm in Tasmania, Hobart specifically. Hey, go on, mate. Straight away, lad. I'm going to the 3 most infamous suburbs in Hobart. It's Glenorchy, Gagebrook and Bridgewater. Apparently people run mucks around here, lad. So this is what we're doing. We're meeting a rapper from here, old school rapper, old school battle rapper. His name's Greeley. He's a very knowledgeable person, not only about Hobart, not only about the hoods, but the history of this place in general. Meeting another rapper from Glenorchy, his name's Wombat, one of the most famous rappers Australia has. And we're meeting a lad from prison. He runs a gym called Slaughterhouse Gym. His name's Wayne. He used to run, back in the days, a gang called the Glenorchy Mafia. So I'm looking forward to talk to him. Catching the 503. We're getting off at Glenorchy and we're meeting Greeley there. By the way, reference time, it's 11 in the morning, Saturday. We're meeting Greeley just before Glenorchy. So like a stop or 2 before, and then we're walking into it. He said he's gonna be at a KFC along the main road. All right, here we are. Massive mountains the whole way. It's like all of these suburbs are built in between all mountain ranges. I used to do a podcast, The Search, a couple years ago, and I had him on the podcast, and also Wombat that we're gonna meet, I had him on the podcast too. Dawn, good to see you again.
What a blessing, bro.
Yeah,
I'm glad to have you down here. You're just checking out the mountain, eh?
Yeah, I was just saying that this whole place is all built between mountains.
Yeah, so that mountain's name, the traditional name is Colonial.
Aboriginal name.
Yeah, that's the actual name. They've changed it back. It was called Mount Wellington. So this whole area was colonised about 200 years ago. The tribe that inhabited this area were called the Winnana people, but the colonisation down here was so hectic. Around 1820 is when people started building farms out here in Glenorchy.
All these mad graph here.
We've got a pretty good graph scene down here. We don't have any passenger trains.
Yep.
Like this train tracks for coalies. And,
So there's no
freights.
passenger trains in Hobart? Oh.
No, there's no passenger trains in Tassie.
Oh, in the whole Tassie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think they don't actually like push forward for the train line because they like to keep people segregated in their areas, you know what I mean? Like the people in power down here all live in one area. And they don't really want people from out here getting into the city or from out Bridgewater or from even northern Tasmania coming down. You know what I mean? Dead set, yeah. Like Tassie's such a small place.
That's so interesting, bro.
Yeah, Tassie's such a small place and the people in power down here all live in certain areas. And there's a lot of, it's all nepotistic, you know what I mean? Everyone's related, so the that have the money, they keep it that way.
Yeah.
And they keep everyone that doesn't have the money out of their way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why are we going to Glenorchy and Bridgewater and Gagebrook?
I was on the street when I was pretty young, and most of the fellas that I was on the street with were from out Glenorchy. Mm-hmm. So I first came out to Glenorchy when I was like 13, 14.
Yep.
With, fellas on the street. There was always hectic parties out here, house parties, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was only one pub out here in Glenorchy called the Mustard Pot. And that was pretty hectic.
So growing up, Glenorchy was the run amok area.
Definitely.
Have fun, run amok. Is there public housing in Tasmania?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
And these areas we're going to are public housing areas?
Yeah, there's a lot of public housing out here.
Yeah.
A lot of Tasmania's being gentrified at the moment, especially since Corona. Tassie always had this, and I think it's because of how hectic the colonial history was down here.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot of shame. And a lot of when I was growing up, it was like, oh, it was shit to live in Tassie. We were trapped in the mentality of being stuck. It was like a really fucking negative mind state that we were in. And now I come back down and I can look at the mountains and realise how beautiful it was the whole time, you know what I mean? So they sent about 100,000 convicts down to Tasmania between like 1820 and 1860. A lot of the convicts, they got 7 years. That was their deal. They got 7 years for transportation and then they get out. And a lot of people that get out, they went to the rest of the mainland and colonised Australia.
Wait, so the convicts, they had to do 7 years here?
Yeah.
So this is like a jail.
It's a jail.
Tasmania's a prison.
It's a penal settlement. The war that happened between the settlers and the Aboriginal people down here went for 30 years straight.
Really?
It was the worst in Australia. Because of all the trauma that came from the war, and then as well, like all these people getting sent out here, they were like done for like stealing a handkerchief or a chicken or some shit.
Yeah.
Chucked on a ship, sent to the other side of the world, to this island where they didn't understand the country, they didn't understand the environment.
Yeah.
You know, it's cold. The roar that the Tasmanian devil makes, it's this real demonic, scary sort of scream.
Yep.
So you can imagine all these English settlers sitting down here and hearing these roars from the bush, and you know, it just terrorised them. They actually, this place was called Van Diemen's Land for 50 years.
Yeah.
But the reason why they changed it is because they wanted to hide the shame of all that trauma.
Oh, really?
And the name Van Diemen's Land, you know, aligned with all that trauma. So that's when they changed it to Tasmania. I think having you down here is really good because it's going to empower a lot of people. You know?
I love that.
So we're walking into Glenorchy. We're coming into the central here, next to Northgate.
So we're entering it now. This is the shops, the main area.
Yeah, this is the main area, sort of Glenorchy.
Sign your book, bruh.
Yeah, I can sign it.
Bro, I've been watching you forever.
How long you had the book for?
A while, since it came out, bro.
Legend.
Pretty much.
Mad.
Legend.
All good, brother. All good.
Times have changed in different ways from when I was hanging out here. You know, like Glenorchy was considered bogans.
Yeah.
Like everyone wore flannies. Where you start to come into Glenorchy, they used to call it the flannelette curtain, because once you were past a certain part of the suburb, everyone wore flannies. And they were bogans,
really?
You know what I mean? But now it's changed, and you know, bogans are now eshays. You know what I mean? And it's been interesting watching your journey, watching Sydney really trend set the rest of the country. You know? And like,
out this way, this is where this flannelette curtain existed, and it was actually bogan.
Yeah, this is the bogan central.
And so now all the kids of the bogans are now what people refer to as eshays.
Exactly.
Which isn't a term I ever use. I call them adlays, but that's a whole nother conversation. The eshays have theoretically won the war against the bogan culture, mate.
Yeah, it's changed.
See?
And you know what?
Told you, mate. Remember I told you years ago, brother? Hey? I'm here to take over Adelaide. Now I'm going to show you the fruits of my labour.
A lot of these kids, they don't have a culture to hold on to. They don't have an identity to hold on to, you know? So what people see as this trend is actually a lot of these kids finding their identity, and it's empowering them.
100%.
And this is what you're doing, bro. By
100%.
coming out to these places and uplifting people. You know, it's a good thing, bro. You're doing God's work.
Thank you, brother.
So this is the bus mall here in Glenorchy.
This is the bus mall. This dog just running amok, lad. This goes where it wants.
A lot of punch-ons over the years. A lot of drama in this park and the bus mall. And
What are you doing, lads? Is this the spot you always kick back here?
Yeah.
A lot of dramas go down here, or lads running amok? Yeah. You running amok? You get that look in your eye, brother? Yeah, mad. What are the cops like, yeah? They harass you when you kick them back here, yeah?
So when I'm cruising through the streets, and I've noticed with a lot of these young fellas, Tourism Tasmania tells the cops, we don't want these kids hanging out in the streets.
Yeah.
So the cops will roll through, go, oi, you guys are filling up the space, we give you a direct order to leave. And within a minute, the cops arrested them for failure to comply. And most of the time, these guys...
So you got to leave straight away?
Yeah. And then if they don't within 5 minutes, they'll arrest them and say, failure to comply. And I've watched cops arrest...
But for any reason, or they just...
No,
just as soon as you kick them back?
They came across like just in the middle of town, we're just standing there, they come up and tell you just like...
So right now, they'll come here. If they see you, they'll come here and they'll say, you got to go. And if you don't leave, they arrest you, they fine you.
They'll give you 24 hours, 12 hours, and if you come back in the period of time, they'll arrest you.
Even though you live here. It's not like you're from somewhere else. So what's the park for?
Yeah.
Hey? Hey, Glenorchy Police, what is the park for? What are those seats for if you get move-on orders from sitting on them? Come on, mate. Hey? True or not?
True.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of mental health issues here in Glenorchy and in Tasmania and in general. The mental health system down here is very behind. There's a lot of lack of services. You know, where we're walking to now was the youth centre, but it was also the health centre. This is where I first recorded raps for the first time. You know, it was a pretty positive environment.
Oh, you first rapped here?
Yeah, this is the spot where I first recorded my raps.
Yeah.
Check out the mural here, bro. Big syringe in the mural.
Does it? Oh, it does too, eh?
A lot of successful artists in Tasmania now recorded here when they were a kid. For me, this was a massive positive part of hanging around Glenorchy. Even when it was chaotic, at least we had some opportunities here at this centre to, you know.
What are you doing, lad? We're talking about the old community centre, Pulse.
Yeah, bro.
Doing? Wombat, how are you, bro?
Good, bro.
Is this still open or not?
I don't think it is open anymore.
So this is your hood, we're in Wombat's hood, mate. He's come on the podcast with me many years ago, and now I'm all the way in his territory, lad.
Yeah, nah, it's mad that you come down, bro.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Mad, bro. You've always lived around here, Glenorchy?
Yeah, basically my whole life. I lived in Goodwood, which is a suburb and just not far from here. I've lived here for like 25 years, bro.
Yeah. A lot of drugs around here?
Oh, bro, rampant.
Rampant?
Like, yeah, everyone comes to Glenorchy to buy the ice and shit. They got fuckloads of dealers out this way, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
dead
like,
set.
Growing up, it wasn't too bad, like, because I'm not a criminal, but like I don't get twisted. Like, I'm still from the streets and shit.
But you just rapped instead?
Shit, bro. I've had some experiences, bro. Like, I've been like robbed with a baseball bat, been rushed down with knives and shit like that.
So Glenorchy is one of the drug spots of Hobart then?
Yeah.
One of the central
100%,
spots?
100%, bro. There would be, obviously, dealers in all the cities, but there's a lot in Glenorchy from like Bridgewater, Gagey, from out Hobart, they come here to pick up their ice and that. I'm 6 months clean off the pipe now, bro. Like, I'm fucking not touching.
Oh, you've been
shit.
clean for 6 months? Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. So you've been on it around here since you were young? That's when you jumped on?
Yeah.
That's a normal thing. Kids around here getting on the ice now?
There's nothing to do, bro, down here. It's boring as down here.
Yeah.
They had a skate park and a McDonald's, and they fucking council got rid of the skate park and the McDonald's. Just we would all congregate and just smoke curries and shit.
They got rid of it?
Yeah, but so like now there's less shit to do for the youth to do. Like, you know,
so all you can do now is just kick back at each other's houses and get on the pipe and smoke cones, eh?
Yeah, it's fucked, bro. Like that's why hip hop's like one of the only outlets. Like or sport, like footy and shit, you know. To get out of the rut and shit. There's been like heaps of stabbings and shit like that. Like knives are getting more rampant and stuff. Like back in the day, it was just full punch-ons and that, bro. Just have a crack. But like,
so all the young lads punching on, stabbing each other.
I never carried a knife out here, and because I never did, I never needed. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel that a lot of the kids are kind of moving with this fear. They see what happens on the internet and they think, I better get ready for this shit.
They're all strapped.
Everyone's strapped, you know. I've been in every neighbourhood from here to Palmerston, from Perth to Brisbane. Never needed a knife, you know. Shit's changing, man.
Go on, lad, go on.
And I brought your book and all. So this fella does a lot of burning off still for the Aboriginal community down here.
It's cool fire, man. We're putting the cool fire back on the country to make it heal properly.
Slow
little fires.
Oh, burning off. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Mad.
Spanian, you come to Tassie, bro.
I'm here, brother.
Yeah,
who would have thought, lad?
Thank you.
That's Jason. He's one of the people in the Tasmanian Aboriginal community that are bringing back proper culture and process. And so not only is he doing burning off in the bush to prevent bushfires, which is what the mob did here for thousands of years, you know. But it also comes with a lot of healing on the country down here.
Well, what's this we're going up into now? These are the housing area.
When I was a teenager, I'd always end up here in these flats. There's a couple of bandos up here. We'll cruise up.
Yeah, he lives around here.
Yeah, does he?
Yeah.
True. You know, my memories of being a teenager here, there was just a lot of drugs, a lot of domestic violence.
What are these little one bed sitters?
Yeah, just little one bed sort of vibes. That's a brick. This is like the classic sort of.
So this is what
blocks.
Tasmanian public housing looks like, huh?
Yeah, in this section, this is kind of more the complex.
Yeah.
I'd say the more common Tasmanian public housing used to be the kind of houses that we'll see out in Bridgewater and Gagebrook. Same in Clarendon Vale, but it's these Besser brick sort of vibes. Always these weird off colours. You know what I mean? It's like you'll see like a weird dark green sort of faded house. Yeah, this is the classic sort of like apartment blocks, one bedrooms, you know.
Oh, some are just straight out boarded up.
You end up with a lot of dodgy in these sort of places. Like, my memories of always hanging around here as youth, there was always a couple pedos living here, and that's a lot of my memories is like hanging around these areas, terrorising, and you know what I mean. You had nothing to do, so you'd find out where the local pedo was, and you just terrorise them.
You know how they like test the piss water and shit, like for drugs and that. And it turned out Tasmania was one of the highest in the country for like methamphetamine per capita. Like,
was it?
Yeah, it's pretty hectic
years ago, and it's just getting worse.
Yeah.
When I was like 18, there was no meth down here. There was a little bit hiding in the corners, but not much. It was all gack. It was biker speed, you know? I first like kind of learned about meth over in Perth, and then I came back here, and then I watched it wash through Tassie, you know what I mean? So also down in Tasmania, they grow the poppies for like a third of the world's opiates. So every like methadone,
So it's like
morphine,
all the medical farms, the medical opiate farms.
all the methadone, all the morphine, Oxycontin, from here to Oklahoma in America comes from poppies that were grown in Tasmania.
Yeah, like kids will can break into the poppy fields, try to make their own teas and die, bro, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's it.
So what they did, they actually found a way to modify the poppies to put a poison in it. Because what people used to do, they used to go run up to the fields, raid them,
scratch make
their own milk, do all that shit. So then the scientists figured out a way how to put poison in it. So if you did it, you'd die. So I think it was about 10 years ago.
What? They figured out a way to kill you quicker.
No, so it was like...
I thought you were going to say the opposite, like they figured out a way to make it safe.
Yeah, no, the opposite, bro. So that anyone... like, I think it was about 10 years ago, a couple tried doing it and they died in the poppy fields.
Yeah,
you know,
make their own tea out of it and shit.
Yeah.
So it's just like fully toxic.
Yeah, full toxic. And that, you know...
So I think that's like them just valuing their money more than human life. Yeah. Like if you steal my poppy plant, you die from now on.
See, that's savage, eh?
Yeah, bro. What?
I remember watching the news one day from in Risdon, and the state of Oklahoma in America were suing the poppy farmers in Tasmania for all the overdoses in America.
No way.
And dead set, they were in court in America going, these Tasmanians are ruining the streets in America.
Yeah.
Dead set, bro. I nearly fell out of my bed. I was just like, what
like
the
Pablo
fuck?
Escobar flooding the streets of Florida. It's
exactly right.
Hobart flooding the streets of the United States.
There's 8 degrees of separation between a poppy plant in Tasmania and a doctor giving Oxycontin to people in America. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Go on, bro. I'm good. How are you, brother?
Lovely to meet you, bro.
You too. You
pleasure,
too.
man. Absolute pleasure.
Nice.
Hey, brother. How are you, man? What's happening?
So you always been from Glenorchy?
Oh, born and bred we are. Yeah.
Yep.
Glenorchy, yeah.
Was it a poor area?
Yeah. Look, it wasn't. It wasn't a very poor area.
Yeah.
So, but it's the second biggest city. So you have Hobart, and then Glenorchy was the next big city.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And so we used to find ourselves on the street. Started off, petty crime. We lived under Northgate. We used to climb under the fans and had our own giant big industrial fans.
Right.
Climb under doors, and there's alleyways and rooms, and we had it decked out, couches, beds, giant big murals of Glenorchy Mafia.
Yeah.
We used to get raided by the cops.
What's that, Glenorchy Mafia?
It was just a street gang that we started when we were kids, and sort of
when are we talking? Early 90s?
Early 90s, and then it sort of evolved into, as we grew into more serious crime, it got a little bit more attention and really become a recognised street gang, in the prison system and in the community. And
so the Glenorchy Mafia was even a thing in prison?
Yeah. So all these boys, years off in prison. And back then there was one prison. It was a maximum security prison. The minimum security part of the prison system was Hayes Prison Farm, which was like a couple hour drive up north.
Oh yeah.
Hour drive up north.
And that's like the prison farm thing.
Yeah, but now they built a new prison. It's just all fucked now. It's like a detention centre / boys' home now. It's just not a real jail. It's just all fucked. You've got pedophiles mixing with like mainstream inmates.
That's it.
It's just
no way.
Yeah, man. It's fucked.
Yeah, they do that in the new prisons, trying to set people up.
Yeah.
So, normalising it,
But a lot of our time was done when the prison was real. When it was a proper prison.
Yeah. So you in that crew, Glenorchy Mafia? You were one of the first lads.
Yeah. So it's published that I was the founder of it.
Oh,
I mean, it's just sort of grown out of that now, but we're all still together, and we all do other things together.
You started a gym. What happened? You broke the records in prison.
So in prison, I was introduced to the gym, and I'd never lifted a weight. I was very athletic anyway. I was naturally just athletic, and I found that I was just so naturally strong. Did a few in-house powerlifting events in the prison, and one, there was a prison officer who was involved in powerlifting officially on the outside. So he'd keep us up to date with all the records and who was winning around the country, and sort of gauge ourselves on that. And I just vowed to get out and become a world champion, and that's what I wanted to do. And
that's hectic.
I was a junkie at the time. I literally just focused on that, and then
so that focusing on that got you off drugs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was fucked.
So you got out, started going in competitions.
Yeah, so I was wandering around the yards with a fucking book, looking because I knew where the World Championships was in 2011. And I was getting out in that year, showing the boys where I was going. Everybody saying, "Nah, you'll never get a passport. You'll never get there." I just knew I was going to that competition. I was getting there one way or another. I was doing it.
And where was it?
Latvia.
Latvia.
11, Yep.
Wow,
So,
Eastern Europe.
Yeah, got out. Did a regional comp in Launceston. Won. Dave and the boys, we all went as a team over to Melbourne. I won another big one there. And then, qualified for Worlds, and I was in Latvia that year. And,
that's cracker.
Yeah. And
imagine that. Imagine thinking then knowing I'm going to get out, I'm going to be in Latvia, and then walking there and achieving it.
Yeah, and I was silver medal Worlds in the powerlifting and a bronze in the World Bench Press comp the next day.
No way. What was your strongest lift? Bench?
I was the first Aussie in history to total 1,000 kilos.
That's mental, brother. And training all that in prison to achieve that.
Yeah, well, everything I was lifting in prison, I was always the strongest in Australia. No one knew where I was going.
Yeah.
And ultimately, within 3 years, I was world champion.
That's mad. And so this is how your gym can we suss out your gym?
Yeah, so first of all, I'll let you know, so all of these warehouses here, this used to be our gym.
That used to be your gym?
Yeah, it was a giant big warehouse, hardcore powerlifting gym.
Wow.
We're known worldwide at the elite level of powerlifting.
That's it, man.
So we've moved out of the big warehouse, hardcore gym, and we've sort of moved across here.
You've moved there,
a small little more studio type gym.
Mad.
Yeah, so it's a lot smaller and welcoming than what we've previously had.
Yeah, this is mad gym.
We've still got an old filthy room back here that we do most of our training in.
Oh, this is the serious room. Is there? That's where it goes down.
So the normal people out there.
Yeah, mad. Yeah, these are mad machines, with these hooks. Yeah. What about Glenorchy these days? How do you see it's changed from when you were about, how the young lads around here?
We were kids in full-on pub brawls, with grown men. We were serious crime, serious home invasions, you name it, every serious crime you can
serious
imagine.
crimes, What's down here? It says Slaughterhouse Clubhouse.
Yeah, so we have our own private bar, it's a lot safer for us to have our own space, as opposed to heading into the city to go to a nightclub or bar.
So you've built this just as your own space, stops the headaches?
Yeah, this gives us a space to do what we do, so we have after parties for the powerlifting events that we have. Barbecues, we have, we've had kids' birthday parties here.
Really?
So,
but this is sick. I love this. I love this aspect of it. And the poles just for like stretching before lifting.
So I have a really heavy connection to Russia. I spent a lot of time there.
Powerlifting a big thing in Russia. They're huge, them lads over there, right?
So that was from the early 90s. That was drawn by a guy in prison.
Yep. All right, mad. Thank you, boys, See you later, boys. Thank you, brother.
No worries, man.
He's a fan of mine, and next minute I'm in his car. We're in Bridgewater now?
We're in Bridgewater. Right. Yeah, we're coming through. So when they built these suburbs, they used the exact same blueprint that they used for the same ghettos in Compton, because they were strategically designed to keep people in. So back in the day, there was no Centrelink out here, and people used to have to go into Glenorchy to hand in their form. And but it always caused heaps of drama having people from Bridgewater coming into Glenorchy, So they built the Centrelink out here, and they try to keep them out here, And that's what I was saying. There's no trains. The bus systems are pretty shit. I think they just shut down one of the buses coming out here because kids keep throwing rocks at it, And
I'm gonna be honest, we're pretty far from where I started, like where my hotel is in Hobart Central. Yeah,
that's it.
And for there to be no trains and even minimum buses.
It's a blowout,
Really stay in your places and down here, And it comes with the tall poppy syndrome, the small town syndrome, and it all mixes up, and that's why really proud of putting on community events out here when we can, and we actually get the support from the council.
All right, we're in Gagebrook now. I thought it was going to be a bit of a secret here, but there we are. What he's doing?
How are you, bro?
Doing, lad? Can't keep a secret in. I thought I was sneaking up here for no one to know.
This is Mearsy.
Yep.
He's a local rapper. He's been dropping a few videos on THC.
Yep.
Tassie Hip Hop Collective. That's what we do. We support these communities by empowering them through hip hop.
Yeah.
It's a platform that we're running. Mizzy, how you doing, bro?
This him?
Yeah,
How lad?
Mizzy.
How are ya?
Mate,
Nice to meet you. Yeah, you too, bro. You too.
I'm not getting my hat one day.
We can talk to the coppers. The coppers want to have a yarn.
Bro.
How are ya?
Hey, Spanian.
Yeah, how are you,
What's
brother?
up, mate?
Yeah,
How you
mad. How are ya?
See you, mate.
Seeing ya.
What's going on?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. We just popped up here and it's just like summer nights or
Oh,
something.
mate, there's shit like this going on, and they know, like, fucking Spanians in town, bro. They're like, yeah, we just let it happen.
So all of this here, bro, this is all like housing. This is the style, eh?
Yeah, bro.
What type of shit the boys getting up to around here?
Breaking into cars.
Breaking into cars.
Setting fire to people's houses.
Setting fire to people's houses, eh?
Yeah, while people are in them.
Dead set.
Gunshots, people have been shot and died also.
Oh, yeah,
Not
people.
so much over here, but over Bridgewater.
Yeah, which is just the next suburb, right?
Yeah, just over that way.
Just over that way, yeah.
There's just nothing out here, bro, for all these young kids that are growing up. They're getting locked up. They're going to Ashley's. They're getting out to being
Ashley's the
homeless
juvie,
again.
eh?
Yeah, the juvenile.
Yeah.
Getting out to being, put back in that same cycle.
This is Gagey, lad. Full suburb of housing.
Full suburb of housing.
Look at the views, but cars. That's hectic.
Gagebrook started back when I was younger. It was all CFL.
Yep.
So it was a big gang amongst all us.
Oh, that was a gang, yeah.
And
what does that stand for, CFL?
Criminals for Life.
Criminals for Life, yep.
So it was all stealing cars and breaking into people's homes.
Yeah,
And
getting money.
Yeah, getting that money, bro. Selling drugs and shit like that. Like the crime rate's pretty high around here.
Yeah, so it's always been like young lads running amok.
Always, bro. Yeah.
So gang punch-ons and stuff? Is ice getting bad here?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of my mates due to ice, like just from their loyalties and like all that kind of shit. Bit of a turf war going on,
Yeah. Oh, even nowadays you're talking about far
nowadays,
out.
Yeah, like everyone's trying to make a dollar, but they're trying to get up on top.
Yeah.
And
same old story, eh?
Yeah, same old story, bro. Like when I was a kid, nearly every second house sold ice.
Yo.
Like cocaine or old school
gear.
Yeah. Or chuff. Like I was 10 years old and I was going to buy chuff from a bloke,
Yo.
They don't care who you are, they'll just sell it to you.
Yeah.
Which is putrid, because all these young kids that are getting on the ice, their brains haven't developed properly. And it's wrecking them.
Oh, you can see it's heaps more dumpy than other parts, eh? Look. Yeah. So the whole suburb's like this? Yeah?
And it's not just these suburbs, bro. There's a lot of suburbs down here like this in Tassie, bro.
Is there?
It's pretty ghetto down here, bro.
Yeah. Well, at this point in the video, someone come up to me and told me, this is where I heard about someone smashing a cop car, throwing a rock at a cop window, having a fight with a cop, or whatever they said. This is about 40 minutes or an hour in real time from the bunch of people when I got out the car. So about 40 minutes, an hour later, something had happened back where we were, and I'd learned about it here. Yeah, bro, the house is ugly as, eh? These off-colour...
What's the colour with them?
What is the colour, lad?
There's weird yellows, dark green.
So the same colour as the grass. Camouflage, lad. I gotta admit, it's the most unique type of housing. Look at it. Smash windows. But lad, look at the view, lads. They've gathered again. That's it. There's another summer nights again. Go on, lad. So this is the pathway, eh?
Yeah,
get through the bridgey.
Little alleyway where we can walk.
Look in the houses, lad. Look at it, bro. In the windows, all the walls are smashed in. Place is hammered. The doors rotten off. This is where everyone brings the hotties.
Yeah, this is
the burnout patch, eh? Evidence is clear.
And for people that want to run down these sort of areas and shit on the people out here, there really needs to be more for people out here. If people want to complain about what they're doing culturally out here, they need to invest more into these sort of areas to give more options for the youth out here, for the adults as well.
Yeah, 100% right. All right, so we're in the full mix of it, eh? Right on the border of Bridgewater and Gagebrook. But you know what, mate? You know, I'm going to say something like what happened with Logan and Milton, how the people came out. The idiots use idiots out there. You watch shows about the hood for your entertainment, but when the people from the hood appear, oh, look at these scumbags, look at these bloody idiots. But you watch the show anyway. If you don't like the people from here and you don't like that they're representing their area, then f*** off to another channel, you scumbag, because we're not here to impress you, right? You don't just get entertainment from watching the hood, but sit there judging and carrying on about the people from it. Wake up to yourself. True or not? True. They can sit here and watch the hood, but when the hood comes out, oh, this is rubbish. Look at these scumbags. But your life's so boring that you watch the hood for entertainment, don't ya, you idiots?
And if you want to have a whinge about your community, instead try and contribute in a positive way rather than running people down.
Yeah, that's it.
We need more people that are investing good energy into uplifting people like Spanian is, you know?
That's it.
So
scums.
This is what needs to happen across Australia. We've got such a cultural cringe. The fact is, all you fucking do-gooders cringe at this side of society because you can't accept that this is a part of the culture in this country. But this is what it is.
This is the culture.
This is the culture. Look at it. There's no fear in this culture. Half of you are just working your job because you're scared.
I told you Adelaide culture will take over, and it did. And look, we come to Hobart, northern suburbs, Adelaide's everywhere. What are you going to do about that, mate? Have a cry, write a blog, call Channel 9. That's it. Look at them. See? I hope this upsets you. Go, boys, go ahead. Get there, do one, lad, do one. Let's Oge, go, keep going, let's Oge, Baba. That's it, lad. Well, some of these houses are hammered around here, but look at this.
This is what it is, uplifting the neighbourhood.
Yeah.
You might see a lot of this as negative, but negative shit happens every day. Positive shit like this doesn't happen very often, you know what I mean? Negative shit happens all the time. We need to put, uplift more than we need to shut down.
We're in Bridgewater now? Yeah, we're in Bridgewater. Oh, we're in Bridgewater now? Yeah. So we'll go off a back street so we can walk through a street where there's like houses and that. Hey, doing, mate? How are you?
Bring up Brookie!
Where is he?
In the Ashley system! Ashley!
The OG house.
Back to the OG. What are you doing, Dundee?
Brother.
Hey, what are you doing? Good to finally meet ya.
You too, mate. You too.
Yeah, he's a rapper. He's an Australian rapper, Dundee. I'll put it up. I'll put his hands up there. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So just keep him busy with work, my brother.
Yeah.
And announced my new album today. June 14th is dropping. So,
did ya? Yeah, mad.
She's all on.
Yeah, hectic.
Yeah, bro. I'm just doing what I can, brother. You know.
Yeah, hectic.
Man.
Yeah, mad.
Everyone loves you, Danny. They've been waiting for you to come down here.
Have they?
Yeah, they love you.
Yeah, that's mad, bro.
I've been posting on Facebook. Where's Spanian at?
Hectic.
Trying to find you.
Yeah, come. Hectic.
Good, how are you going?
Well, these townhouses, how's that? Hey, Wombat's back. There he is. He popped back up. Where'd you come from, mate? Where'd you come from?
I just went and punched a couple of cones back there, back in Gagebrook.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm baked as fuck now. But 29 shouts to Spanian. Thanks for coming down to Tasmania, bro. Because look at all the love, bro. All the youth in that, bro. Like you inspire them, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Straight the fuck out.
Proud of yourselves, bro. You're making a fucking mark, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Fucking oath, man. Straight up.
Someone jumped on it after you left.
That's
Right
it.
after you left.
Wait, Spanian.
That's not because of me, right?
No.
That's right. There you go. That's it, boys. Fucking nice. Thank you, bro. That's it. That's Glenorchy, that's Gagebrook, and that's Bridgewater, lad. That's Hobart's most notorious suburbs, and I'm out, lad. Later, boys. Full follow. So on our way back to the hotel, who's that? In the middle of Hobart, in a lane, brother. Look at that. You done this? Yeah. He done it, lad. He just come walk past and he goes, Spanian. He goes, bro, I done that mural of ya. That's hectic, bro. What's your name? What do you write?
Reese Williams, Soil.
Legend.
Yeah.
Thank you, eh?
Yeah, no worries, bro. Legend.
Let's go, bro. Look what he done, lad. What a way to end it, brother. I'm in a lane. I see a mural of me. 10 minutes later, because I'm sitting here spinning out, ringing people, there's a mural of me. He walks down, he goes, bros, I done that mural, bro, this and that. Anyway, legend, bro. Hey, later. What are they doing up there, mate?
They're all ready to sing rock and roll. You're a bikie, obviously, by the tattoos.
What kind of bikie am I? What? How did you know?
My father was a bikie. My dad was a Tommy, one Triumph, Norton, Royal Enfield. Yeah. Those skinhead gangs in London, they're mad.
All right, long story short, after all was shot, I went back to the city, went back to the hotel. That night, police come, raided the hotel I was in, arrested me, full dramatic, took me to the cop shop, threw me in the jail. What they were trying to say is that I somehow incited people or asked people to go crazy and smash the cop car or throw rocks at the cop car or whatever they done. I was in the cop shop overnight. I gave them access to my phone so they could hear the conversations between me and Greeley and me and Wombat. Pretty much every conversation they listen to is me telling Greeley or me telling Wombat, do your best to make sure no one knows. I don't want no one to know. I don't really want anyone to be there. Please don't let anyone know. All along those lines. So after a night in the cop shop, they end up deciding to charge me with disturbing the peace. Something like that. Anyway, so I got charged with disturbing the peace because of other people's actions. I said, listen, I didn't ask him to be there. I didn't host an event. What do you want me to do? I'm allowed to walk the streets. If I go to a shopping center, people gather up and bunch around me. If I stand in the wrong spot for too long, people gather up and bunch around me. If they have a fight, it's got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I said this straight out to him. I said, that's like going to State of Origin, having a fight and arresting Brad Fittler or arresting the referee. It doesn't work like that. Anyway, I got charged with, like I said, disturbing the peace, and here we are, bro. Spaniel's got arrested, lad. Ilche, bro. Ilche.